Now we shall now enter into lesson number 5. Though we have learned the Subhashitani for memorization, but now let us start understanding the meanings of these Subhashitani. In today's class, we shall learn what is a Subhashitam and the 11 Subhashitas that we have learned so far. Let us try to understand their simple first level of meaning and also how to write in the exam as well. प्रथमतया सुभाषितं नाम किं? What is सुभाषितं? सुष्ठु भाषितम् इति सुभाषितम् इति वक्तुं शक्यते. One which has been said very well can be called a subhashitam. What are these? What are these subhashitam? If you ask a question, subhashitam is nothing but a very good saying, a proverb, a shloka which has a moral in it, which has a few examples of how one should behave or how one should live, and also a few examples of how one should not conduct himself. So all these things which help us to understand what is good, to help us improve ourselves, and which will also tell what is the right thing to do and what is not correct, etc. These sayings, these good sayings, the proverbs, etc., are called subhashitam or subhashitani. Subhashitam is napumsakalinga shabda, and hence the plural form will be subhashitani. Okay. Now let us go to each of the subhashitam one by one. I will ask one student to recite one of the subhashitam, and then we shall understand the meaning with respect to that. Okay. So let me see. Ranjani Bhagini, can you read the first subhashitam?
नास्ति विद्या समो बन्धुः, नास्ति सत्य समं तपः, नास्ति राग समं दुःखं, नास्ति त्याग समं सुखम्.
Dhanyawadaha. Few important corrections that you need to make is because of your Hindi accent maybe or reading of Hindi, rag samam you say, but it is raga samam. In Sanskritam, unless we put halant, that is this mark below that particular vyanjanam, it is recited in full only. Raga samam, sukham.
राग समम.
Yes. Similarly, tyaga samam,
त्याग
satya
समम.
samam. Yes. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Otherwise, well decided. Dhanyawadaha. अधुना अस्य सुभाषितस्य अर्थं जानीमः. Let us now try to understand the meaning of this shloka or this subhashitam. If you see in all these four padas, the four quarters of this subhashitam, some of the words are repeating. Nasti is there everywhere. Samaha or samam is there everywhere. Now, what is that we are trying to convey out of this subhashitam? There are these words which are there here. Samaha, then you have one word, and there is one more word. You are trying to relate between these two, saying that there is no other relative, bandhuhu means relative, than vidya. Nasti means not there. Samaha means equal to, which is equal to or equivalent to, etc. Samaha means equal, nasti means not there. So the first line, the first pada will say there is no relative which is equal to vidya, or vidya is the most required relative. Okay, so that is the knowledge is what is very much useful. Similarly, if you go to the second pada, again nasti, same meaning. There is no. Tapaha. Tapaha means penance. We know rishis or sages used to do lot of penance, lot of tapas. But in today's world, for us, for anyone, what is the greatest tapas? Or there is no tapas which is equivalent to the truth. We should be always truthful to ourselves and to others. So being truthful or the truth itself is following this itself is a tapas. We can take example of Harishchandra, Raja Harishchandra, who always spoke the truth, and for that he had to face lot of obstacles, lot of hurdles, and he overcame all those because of his sincerity and his truth. So there is nothing else, or there is no other tapaha, there is no other penance which is equivalent to that of truth. Now, The next line, similarly, nasti ragasamam dukkham. Dukkham means sorrow. Ragaha means desire or likingness. Okay, so or attachment. You can also increase this meaning or the width or the span of this word into attachment as well. So raga samam, the sorrow is all created because of our attachments, because of our expectations, because of our desires, etc. So there is no other dukkha, there is no other sorrow which is equivalent to raga. Okay, so that is the desire. So that is the meaning of this line. Next, the last one, nasti tyaga samam sukham. What is sukham? What is the happiness? That is nothing but the tyaga. Tyaga is giving up or the renunciation. So tyaga samam sukham nasti. So if you see this, you can also correlate this to sannyasa. Nyasa means giving up or leaving actually. So that which is done with as part of a samskara, which is a part of a process, etc., will become a sannyasa. So there, everything is given up. Everything is given up. But that means to say, what is given up is not that you will not do anything, etc., or anything like that, but the phala that you associate with every action of yours, you give up all those things. That is karma sannyasa, and so on. So there is no other happiness than giving up. So this Subhashitam tells us that for us to live a very happy life, what is that we should do is first is Vidyarjanam. We need to earn or we need to learn a lot. We need to gain knowledge. And then we need to be truthful. We should speak always the truth. And then we should not develop this quality of attachment or desire. And we should be ready to give up anything for these causes. So this is what this Subhashitam means. So the general meaning of this Subhashitam and the how we will have to write in the exam, if you ask. So first is we will have to write the Anvaya. Anvaya means it is called the prose order. As you know, in Sanskritam, the order of the words will not matter. Instead of saying Nasti Vidyasamaha Bandhuhu, I can also say Nasti Bandhuhu Vidyasamaha or Vidyasamaha Bandhuhu Nasti. You can shuffle the words across, and but still the meaning of the Subhashitam or the meaning of the sentences will be the same. Now, to understand the meaning in a better format, in a better way, what we'll have to do is we'll have to rearrange these words so that the Kriya Padam will be put at the last. Kriya Padam will be put at the end. Vidyasamaha bandhuhu nasti. If you reword this or basically to rearrange these words, then the meaning will be made out easily. So that is called Anvaya. Anvaya is called prose order. You will rearrange these words, whatever is there in the Subhashitam, and then you will write it. That is called Anvaya. And next is Padapadartha. Padapadartha is nothing but meaning for each of the word. Like how I have shown in this right side of the slide, Samaha means equal, then Nasti means not there, Vidya means knowledge, Bandhuhu means relative. So for each word, you write the meaning. This is called Padapadartha. The next concept is Bhavartha. Bhavartha is nothing but the summary meaning of this Subhashitam. Okay, that is the Bhavartha, which is there is no relative that is equal to with, the knowledge. There is no penance that is equal to truth. There is no sorrow that is equal to desire, and there is no happiness that is equal to renunciation. So this summary, what you write, that is called the Bhavartha. Okay, so in the exam, the questions will be they would give a particular Subhashitam, any one of the Subhashitam, and ask you to write the Anvaya order and the Bhavartha. Okay, so that is what we will have to practice writing as well. So after I explain the meanings of all these Subhashitani, I shall show the notes as well, like how you will have to write and practice. So we shall now go to the next Subhashitam. Renuka Bhagini, can you please recite the Subhashitam?
Ram, sir.
Ram Ram Ram.
नभसो भूषणं चन्द्रः नारीणां भूषणं पतिः पृथिव्या भूषणं राजा विद्या सर्वस्य भूषणम्।
उत्तमं, धन्यवादाः।
धन्यवादः।
So only one place, narinam, nakara did not, I couldn't hear the nakara correctly, but otherwise well recited. Okay, now in this subhashitam again we can see some common word which is there everywhere in all the four padas. Bhushanam, bhushanam, bhushanam. Bhushanam means what? Bhushanam means ornament, whichever whichever makes something adorable, more beautiful, okay, which beautifies something, that is an ornament. Ornament, basically abharanam also we can say, but it is nothing but to enhance the beauty of some object. Now what are these? So now if you compare, now we have understood the meaning of this word bhushanam. Bhushanam means ornament. Now we also see some more words in this subhashitam which is all in prathama vibhakti, okay, which I am underlining right now. Chandraha, patihi, raja, vidya. These four words in the subhashitam are in prathama vibhakti. So the ornament is chandraha, the ornament is patihi, the ornament is raja, the ornament is vidya. Now if you ask a question, what Chandra is the ornament, but of what? Chandra is the ornament for whom or of what? If you ask a question, then you will get the answer nabhasaha. And then similarly patihi kasya bhushanam, whose ornament is apati? If you ask, then the answer will be in again shashti vibhakti. Kasya, again as I said, it's a general question. Kasya bhushanam, narinam bhushanam, narinam, nari ikaranta strilinga shabda. If you remember today, nadinam we have seen, similarly narinam, okay. Next, raja kasya bhushanam or kasyaha bhushanam, prithivyaha. So there is a visarga here, prativyaha, but based on the sandhi rules, the visarga will be eliminated, okay. But when we write answers etc, we will have to remember this. Next, vidya kasya bhushanam, sarvasya bhushanam. Vidya is the ornament of everyone, okay. Now let us see the padapadartha. Nabhaha means sky. Nabhasaha, nabhas is a different shabda that we haven't seen actually. It is a sakaranta shabda, and hence the form is nabhasaha. So here again, based on sandhi rules, this nabhaso it has become, this is also a visarga sandhi which is not part of prathama syllabus, and hence we will not be covering more related to visarga sandhi. Other sandhis are there which we shall take up in the next class. So nabhasaha bhushanam basically, okay, not nabhasoho, it is nabhasaha bhushanam, it becomes nabhaso bhushanam. Next, similarly, nari means woman. The ornament for any woman is basically husband, so bhushanam patihi. And similarly, prithivyaha bhushanam, prithvi means earth of this bhumi. That is why if you remember, bhupatihi means king, okay. The king is the ornament or one who adorns this bhumi. And similarly, the last one, sarvasya, of everything. Vidya is the bhushanam of everything or everyone. For everyone, the vidya is the bhushanam, vidya is the ornament, okay. So in all these things, so one thing that we should remember is um, in which vibhakti each of these words are occurring, in which vibhakti each of these words are occurring. So here it is again, all these words are shashti vibhakti. It is denoting the relation. Chandra is the ornament of nabhaha, which is sky, of nari, of prithvi, and of everyone or of everything. So this is in shashti vibhakti, okay, similar to ramasya, tasya, and all the other words vidya, bhushanam etc are in prathama vibhakti. Please make a note of this, and we shall proceed further to the next subhashitam. Okay, Srinivasan Rajaraman, can you please recite this subhashitam?
Ram. Sukasyanantaram dukkam, dukkasyanantaram sukham, chakravat parivartante, dukkhani cha sukhani cha,
Uttamam. Dhanyawadaha, Mahodaya. Well recited. So I shall ask a few questions now. You can try to answer them, and let us see. Okay. So in this, if we see, there is again one word is repeating here, Anantaram and Anantaram. So what is the meaning of Anantaram? Srinivasan Mahodaya, you can try to answer.
Okay. Yeah, Anantaram basically means part. It's a you're comparing it.
Okay, it is not comparison. Okay, but Anantaram is after. Okay, Anantaram
Okay,
means
Anantaram. Yeah, after. Okay, right.
or
It follows. It follows basically.
something which follows immediately
It
after,
follows.
or something which follows.
Immediately follows.
Yes, that is right.
So that's like what it says here in this slogan. If I can just continue, is
I shall
Sukasya.
one second.
Yeah,
I shall ask the questions. I shall ask the questions based on that you answer, so that others also will be able to understand it. Okay.
right.
So in the first line we are seeing two words again, Sukhasya and then Dukkham, and similarly in the second line we are seeing Dukkhasya and then Sukham. Okay. So now what does it mean? Sukhasya Anantaram Dukkham. Yeah. Can you tell that now?
Yeah. So the sukha is the happiness is always followed by a sorrow, and similarly, sorrow is always followed by a happiness.
Yes, dhanyawadaha. So Dukkham is again here, it is Prathama Bhakti. Dukkham is followed immediately after Sukha. Sukhasya Anantaram. After Sukha or after happiness, then the Dukkham, the sorrow is immediately followed. And similarly, it is the same way around. The happiness is again followed after the Dukkham or after the sorrow. That is what it means. Sukham, happiness, Dukkham, sorrow. Next, how does it happen? How does it happen if you ask a question? Then the answer will be Chakravata. Chakravata. Chakram means what?
Wheel.
Yes.
Or it's a circle, or it's a cycle.
Cycle or wheel, basically. Chakravat is like a wheel. Parivartante. Parivartante means these keep on revolving.
Changing.
These keep on changing, actually. Dukkhanicha, Sukhanicha. Both this sorrow and happiness keep going round and round, or keep repeating one after the other, like in a wheel. Okay, the wheel of fortune, we can call it as. Dhanyawadaha, Srinivasan Mahodaya.
Ram.
Astu. So this Subhashitam gives the essence of life. So most of the times when we are really happy, we will go on to the cloud nine. We will be so much happy that it will be seen, and everyone around will think, okay, what happened, or why are you so happy, etc. Right? But then if we are a bit even sorrow, or if we are facing a bit of challenges, etc., we fall down. We completely think that we have gone underground or something like that. So that is the Sukha and Dukkha, and the way we express it. So what Gita Charya Krishna says is Sukha Dukkhe Same Kritva, right? So Labha Labha Jaya Jaya. In the same way, this Sukha and Dukkha, this happiness and sorrow, will keep on coming. It is like changing every now and then, like a wheel. How a particular spot on a wheel goes up and down, in the same way is also in our life. It is full of ups and downs. So hence, we shouldn't be really worried about either Sukha or Dukkha. We should treat it equally. That is what the essence of life this Subhashitam is trying to give us. Hope this is understood. Sukhasya Anantaram. There is a sandhi here, which is Savarna Dirgha Sandhi. Sukhasya plus Anantaram, it becomes Sukhasyanantaram. Whenever we have so two words in a sandhi, basically it is a combination of two words. The ending word has akara or akara. Similarly, the next word, the second word, it starts with akara or akara, or similar swara. Similar to, it can be ikara or ikara, and both the words should have the same thing. The ending letter of the first word, the starting letter of the second word. These two should be either a or a, e or e, u or u, the same combination. In such case, what will happen when you combine these words? A dirgha will come here. So similar to Devalayah, Deva Alayah, then Sukhasyanantaram. Okay, this is a dirgha is replacing these two letters, and hence this is called Savarna Dirgha Sandhi. Savarna means similar, Dirgha means the result of it, and because of the Sandhi. So just know this as this today. In the upcoming class, we shall definitely learn more about the sandhi aspects. Okay. Similarly, dukkhasya anantaram, you can split it here. Dukkhasya anantaram sukham. Chakravat parivartante. These will be revolving or changing like a wheel. And the sukhani cha, dukkhani cha. Sukham and dukkham are both napumsakalinga shabdas, and hence this is in bahuvachanam. Prathama vibhakti bahuvachanam. We shall proceed further to the next subhashitam. Namrata ena.
हरि
Please.
ओम् नरस्याभरणं रूपं रूपस्याभरणं गुणः गुणस्याभरणं ज्ञानं ज्ञानस्याभरणं क्षमा.
Uttamam, dhanyavadaha. I shall also unmute one more student, Sheila Krishnan. So both of you can answer a few questions that I pose. So now, can you Ram. Can you split this word Narasya Bharanam based on what we learned in the previous slide, where it was Dukkhasya Nantaram, Sukhasya Nantaram, Sukhasya Anantaram. In the same way, how to split this?
Narasya Abharanam.
Very good. Narasya Abharanam Rupam. Similarly, the second line.
Rupasya Abharanam.
Okay. Third line.
Gunasya Abharanam.
Last one.
Jnanasya Abharanam.
Very good. Now, if you remember, Nabhaso Bhushanam Chandraha, from that Subhashitam, it is very similar to that in this. So, Abharanam also means ornament. Bhushanam also means ornament. Okay, it is Abharanam, not Abharanam, Abharanam. Okay, Narasya Abharanam Rupam. Narasya Abharanam Kim, what is the Abharanam, or what is the Bhushanam of Nara? Naraha means?
Narasya Abharanam Rupam.
Very good. Abharanam means ornament. Narasya of man. So don't think it's only for men and not for women. So it's a collective noun. So when we say man, it means to say for the whole of the mankind. Okay. So Narasya Abharanam Rupam. Okay. Rupam means beauty. That is the Abharanam that anyone can have. Okay. Next, second one. Rupasya Abharanam Kimasti.
Rupasya
Abharanam Gunaha.
Very good. Rupasya Abharanam Gunaha. The ornament of Rupa is nothing but the quality, the good quality or good conduct, etc. Okay, next. Gunasya Abharanam Kim?
Gunasya Abharanam Gnanam.
Very good. Gunasya Abharanam Jnanam. The quality, the ornament for the quality is nothing but the knowledge. Okay, next. Jnanasya Abharanam Kim?
Jnanasya Abharanam Kshama.
Jnanasya Abharanam Kshama. Kshama is basically patience, forgiveness, compassion, etc. All these words mean Kshama. So this is a chain, if you remember. So Narasya Abharanam Rupam. So if you think that Narasya Abharanam is Rupam, but then Rupasya Abharanam Kim? Rupasya Abharanam Gunaha. Gunasya Abharanam Kim? Jnanam. Jnanasya Abharanam Kim? It is Kshama. So this means to say, if for any person, if only he is very beautiful, okay, I'm unmuting both of you. Dhanyavadaha. Well participated. Astu. So if a person is very beautiful, he will be very much arrogant about that, or he will be proud about that. Okay, it may be also vanity. Okay, so but that alone does not is not sufficient, or does not end there. Okay. So what is that? It is required that particular, if he is good looking, that means to say he is good, he should also have equal and good qualities. That is not sufficient still. If he has good qualities also along with that, if he is knowledgeable, only then that is the real abharanam, or that is the real ornament that he is wearing. And but if just the knowledge is there, but the arrogance, no, again it is not the case. So the knowledge which is also combined with patience, forgiveness, and compassion, that is the real abharanam. So this helps us understand, if we have rupa but we don't have guna, then it's of no use. Or if we have rupa and guna or just guna, but if we don't have knowledge, then that also we don't, it's of no use. Or if we just have knowledge, but we don't have the humility or the patience or the forgiveness, then again, it's of no use. So at the end, this to complete the cycle of being good or reaching a state that someone says he's really a good person, then we should have all these four qualities. Of course, rupam is that we see, we can see it through our eyes, but that again is not a hurdle for achieving the other three important things, which is guna, jnana, and kshama, which is all the internal qualities of any person. These are also called atma gunaha. Okay, so that is the subhashitam, the meaning of this subhashitam. We shall now proceed to the next subhashitam. Hope you are able to understand. Of course, if you have any questions, you can put it down in the Q&A chat box. I shall look into it towards the end of the class and I will answer them. And also, once we learn all this subhashitam, I will share another document, which is notes, where I have put also the English meaning and pada padartha. Okay. Next one, Meenakshi Shekaran. Can you please recite the subhashitam?
Namaste, Mahodaya.
Namaste.
विदेशेषु धनं विद्या व्यसनेषु धनं मतिः परलोके धनं धर्मः शीलं सर्वत्र वैधनम्.
Uttamam. Haresh Deshpande, I am also unmuting you, and Praveen Kulkarni. Okay, so all three of you, please be ready. I will ask a few questions, and then based on that, you can answer. Okay, so now let us try to identify various vibhaktis in this. Videsheshu, Vyasaneshu. Can you tell which vibhakti is this in?
Saptami.
Very good. Saptami vibhakti. Which vachana?
Bahuvachana. 7.3.
Yes, very good. This also is similar. So I'm directly taking. Okay, Paraloke.
7.1.
Very good. This is Ekavachanam. Saptami vibhakti Ekavachanam. Dhanam.
Dhanam. This is Dvitiya. 2.1. 2.1.
Is it Dvitiya or it is Prathama vibhakti?
Napumsakalikam, Prathama vibhakti.
It is Prathama vibhakti. Okay, so the forms are both. It is both in Prathama and Dvitiya vibhakti. What it is referring to, when we understand the meaning, it will be clear.
Okay.
So it is in Prathama vibhakti. Okay, now if you see the last set of words, Vidya, Matihi, Dharmaha, Dhanam, or Sheelam, basically. These are all in, again, Prathama vibhakti Ekavachanam. All these words are in Prathama vibhakti Ekavachanam. Similar to the previous shlokas of Subhashitani, a particular word is repeating. Dhanam, 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 Dhanam. Similar to Abharanam, Bhushanam, etc. Videsheshu Dhanam. In Videshaha means what? Foreign. In foreign countries. Okay. Dhanam is nothing but what is the wealth? If you are going, if you are traveling, etc., the real wealth is nothing but the knowledge. Knowledge is the real wealth. Videsheshu Dhanam Vidya. So if you have money, that alone is not sufficient. If you want to survive elsewhere, then that means to say we should be knowledgeable. Okay. Similarly, Vyasaneshu Dhanam. What is the wealth with respect to the Vyasana? What is the meaning of Vyasana? I shall show. Vyasanam means it is difficulty. In the difficulty, at difficult situations, what is the real wealth that anyone can possess? It is nothing but the matihi, or the intelligence, or the mind. Similarly, paraloke, in a different loka, which is after this world, then what is the dhanam? What is that wealth? That wealth is nothing but dharmaha. That is the dharma or the righteousness that we have followed in this present life. And next, what is the wealth of everything? Sheelam, that is the good conduct. Good conduct is the wealth everywhere, okay, of everything and of everywhere. Okay, sarvatra means everywhere. Okay, this is an avyaya. This is also an avyaya. Atra, tatra, sarvatra, etc. These are all avyayas which denote the place. Sarvatra means everywhere. Okay, so this is the meaning of this subhashitam. So what it actually means, there's also a saying in English, right? So with respect to the good conduct, so if character is lost, everything is lost, right? So that the character is very important. The sheelam, or basically the good conduct, is very important, which is the wealth wherever you go. Okay, so this means to say dhanam, what we associate with wealth, which with the materialistic wealth, maybe money or home or property, etc., is nothing, but those will not be of no use unless these are there at the required times. Especially in this pandemic time, because of so much of difficulty everywhere, it is our mind. If you are strong mentally and emotionally, then half the hurdle is crossed, or at least we will be in a position to make our living, etc. But if that is not the case, then it would have been very difficult, right? So that is why vyasaneshu dhanam matihi. Vyasanam means at difficult times, our matihi, our mind or our intellect, mental health as well as the emotional health, the intellect, this has to be safeguarded very well. And that whatever we have, that because of that we will also be better. So this is the meaning of overall meaning of this subhashitam. So videsheshu dhanam vidya. So in foreign countries, the wealth is nothing but the knowledge. Similarly, at difficult times, it is the intellect. And in the other world, it is the dharma, the righteous path. And then at everywhere or at every place, it is the good conduct. Now we shall go to the next subhashitam. Ghanashyam Mahodaya, can you please recite the subhashitam?
राम राम महोदय
Ram Ram Ram.
प्रदोषे दीपकश्चन्द्रः प्रभाते दीपको रविः त्रैलोक्ये दीपको धर्मः सुपुत्र कुलदीपकः.
Uttamam, well recited. Only 1 point. Deepakash Chandraha. There, I think you made a mistake. And Suputra Kuladipaka. There is no Mahaprana or more stress. Suputra Kuladipaka is sufficient. Dhanyawad.
धन्यवाद.
Next is I'll call out also Brinda Srinivasan. And then Aruna Bhagini. So please be ready. Based on a few questions, you can answer.
प्रदोषे दीपकश्.
Please, okay. Pradoshe, which vibhakti it is?
Saptami Ekavachanam Mahodaya.
Saptami Ekavachanam, very good. Similarly, Prabhate.
Prabhate
Saptami
Ekavachanam.
Very good. Then Trailokye.
Saptami
Ekavachanam.
Saptami Ekavachanam.
Very good. Next, Suput. Okay, anyway, there's no. Next, Deepakaha. This is split as Deepakaha Chandraha. Don't worry, again, this is a Visarga Sandhi. Deepakaha Chandraha, it becomes Deepakash Chandraha. Again, here also Visarga Sandhi, Deepakaha Ravihi. Okay. And similarly, here also Deepakaha Dharmaha and Kuladipakaha. Okay. Now, let us try to understand. Chandraha. Chandraha means moon. And Deepakaha means lamp or light. Okay. What is the light during the darkness or during the evenings? Okay. Pradoshaha means night. During the night, what is the light that we can see? That is Chandraha. In the same way, Deepakaha is again light. Ravihi means sun. Prabhate means morning. What can be the meaning of the second line? Can anyone of you tell? Brinda or Aruna or Ghanshyam Mahodaya?
During
daytime.
During daytime.
Deepako Ravihi. During daytime, the light is sun.
Very good. During night, the light is Chandra. During daytime, it is Ravihi. Ravihi means sun. Very good. Prabhatam means morning.
Morning.
Okay. It is a Napumsakalinga Shabda. Prabhatam. So Prabhate, however, it is similar to Vanam Vane. So Saptami Bhakti is Vane. Okay. Next, similarly, Trailokye Deepako Dharmaha. What is the meaning?
In other word, dharma is a light.
Very good. In all the three
words.
Very good. Trailokye. Trailokye means in all the three words. Okay. Trailokye means it is combination of all the three words. In all three words, the dharma is the light. Okay. So, and last part, which is Kuladipakaha. Suputraha Kuladipakaha. But
good son.
Good
son is a
Kulasya Deepakaha.
Light for the family.
For family's light.
Yes. Family's light. Kulasya Deepakaha. Here, if you, this is Samasa word, basically Samasta Padam. So this is Samasa, compound word. How do we split it as Kulasya Deepakaha? Okay, I will not take more time or explain more details with respect to Samasa because it is beyond the scope of this course. but to understand the meaning, it is the kulasya deepakaha, of the family, light of the family. So dhanyawadaha sarvebhyah, you participated well.
धन्यवादः महोदय.
Sure. So what this subhashitam means is there are different light or torch bearers at different situations. What are those? The first one, during the night, it is Chandra, Surya, and then Dharma, which is the conduct in all the three worlds. But a Suputraha, a good son, is the torch bearer, or he is the light of the family. So he will be making the family also to shine. That's what it means. Okay. So let us remember all these, and we'll go ahead. The next one. Let me unmute a few students. Priyadarshini Bhagini, can you recite the Subhashitam?
Yes, ma'am. लालयेत् वर्षाणि दशवर्षाणि ताडयेत् प्राप्ते तु षोडशे वर्षे पुत्रं मित्रवदाचरेत्.
Uttamam, dhanyawadaha, well recited. I shall also unmute a few more students. Kalyan Mohodaya and Koham.
Namo Namah.
Namaste. Okay, so I shall ask a few questions, and then based on that we shall take it further. Okay, now lalayet, and okay, if you identify here in this Subhashitam, these are the Kriya Padas. Lalayet, Tadayet, then Acharet. Okay, can anyone split this word? The last word?
Mitravat Acharet.
Very good. It is Mitravat Acharet. Okay, it is not Mitravada Acharet or something like that. It is not a Savarna Dirgha Sandhi. There is no Sandhi at all in this word. So it is Mitravat Acharet. It is just a Gunita Aksharam. Okay, good. So Lalayet, Tadayet, Acharet. These three are the Kriya Padas in this sentence, Tingantams basically, which is Vidhiling Lakara. Okay, which is Vidhiling Lakara. If you remember, Vidhiling is to order, or this must be done in this way, etc. To say that. Okay, now let us try to understand. There are some numbers in this Subhashitam. Can you identify them?
Pancha, Dasha, Shodasha.
Okay, Pancha, Dasha, and Shodasha. Okay, so Pancha 5. Can you tell the other numbers? I think Kalyan Mohodaya, can you tell?
Dasha is 10, Shodasha is 16.
Very good, 16. Okay, very good. Now, Varshani is there. Varshani means years, basically, at the age of, or at the years, at so much year, etc. And then Varshe and Prapte. This we will see. Prapte is in which vibhakti?
Saptami.
Okay, very good. Saptami vibhakti ekavachanam. Similarly, Varshe is also Saptami vibhakti ekavachanam. Okay, I shall explain about it in some time. Okay, then Putram, which vibhakti?
Dvitiya vibhakti.
Very good. It is Putram is Dvitiya vibhakti. Putraha is the Pullinga Shabda. Putram is Dvitiya vibhakti. Dvitiya vibhakti ekavachanam. Next, last one, Mitravat. Anyway, don't worry about it. Okay, so these are the identifications that we have done so far. Now, for up to 5 years, so here in this, the Subhashitakara is giving or telling that how you should conduct yourself with your children, basically. Here Putram means it's not just Putram, it's also applicable to Putri. Okay, so first thing is Lalayet. So should be affectionate towards your kids. Up to what time? Up to what age? Up to 5 years only. Okay, Varsham means year. Up to 5 years of your kid, the first 5 years, you should be so much affectionate towards them. You should show and shower so much of love towards them. And after that, after the 5th year, Dasha Varshani, the next 10 years, you should be strict. Okay, you should beat them. Beat them in the sense, it is not without any reason, but of course, you should be strict with them. So if they do some mistake, if they commit some mistake, immediately you should punish them so that they won't repeat those mistakes again. Now, 5 years are over and next 10 years are over, which becomes 15 years. So praptetu shodashe varshe, when the kid or when the child has reached or has attained 16 years, okay, at that point in time, praptetu shodashe varshe. This specific line is a very important prayoga in Sanskritam, which is called Sati Saptami. Okay, it is called Sati Saptami. Don't worry about it. It's a technical term. So we are using Saptami Vibhakti in multiple words. Praptetu shodashe varshe. That means to say when this is achieved or when this is reached at that point in time. So that is what it means basically. So once the child has become 16-year-old, then putram mitravat acharet. Mitravat means like a friend. Treat your children like friends basically. So this is how we should treat our children. That is the meaning of this Subhashitam. I hope you are all able to understand it. So
Yes.
Dhanyawadaha for participating.
Dhanyawad.
Okay, so Putram Mitravad Acharit. So from then on, from 16th year onwards, treat him as a friend. Okay, now let us go to the next Subhashitam. Let me call out the students' names. So I shall unmute 3 students together and I'll ask one of the students to recite it. So Gopal Krishnan Mahodaya, can you please recite the Subhashitam? Next, Jyoti Lakshmi Bhagini and Raja Raman Mahodaya, please be ready.
Ram Ram Mahodaya. स्वगृहे पूज्यते मूर्खः स्वग्रामे पूज्यते प्रभुः स्वदेशे पूज्यते राजा विद्वान् सर्वत्र पूज्यते.
Lakshmi Bhagini, well recited. So let us try to identify similarly in the previous Subhashitas, which are all the words in Saptami Bhakti in this.
Swagrihe, Swagrame, Swadeshe.
Very good. All these words which are there here are Saptami Bhakti. Swagrihe, Swagrame and Swadeshe. Next.
Saptami Ekavachana.
Can you identify the Kriya Padam?
Pujyate.
Pujyate is the Kriya Padam. Can you also identify which Padi it is? Whether it is
Atmane Padi.
Atmane.
Yes, Atmane Padi, very good. Atmane Padi. And next, can you also identify which Purusha and Vachana?
Pujyate Ekavachanam.
Very good.
Prathama
Purusha Ekavachanam.
Purusha.
Sevate, Sevite, Sevante. Pujyate, Pujyete,
Pujyante.
Very good. Next, Murkha, Prabhu, Raja, Vidwan. All these are in Prathama Bhakti. Okay?
Ekavachanam.
You have not seen anyway. Prathama Bhakti Ekavachanam. Vidwan basically. It is Vidwan means a knowledgeable person. What is the meaning of this? So this kind of Kriya Pada we hadn't seen. So basically Pujati.
About disturbance asti Mahodaya.
So wherever there is a disturbance, I think you can. Okay, I think now it is better. So Pujyate means will be worshipped by. Okay, so this is in a passive voice basically. Whenever we tell a Kriya Padam in Atmanepadi which has a yakara in it, for example, Pathyate, okay, or anything like that. Okay, so in such cases it is the passive voice in it is there. Grihe is also in the similar way. A murkha, a person, a dumb person, or one who is not intelligent enough. Okay, he is worshipped or he is respected only in his own home. Swagrihe, swasya griham. Okay, one's own home. Swagrihe pujyate murkha. A fool is worshipped in his own home. That's it. So he'll not get any respect once he comes out of his house. In the same way, Prabhu. What do you mean by Prabhu?
Raja.
Raja. Samichinam. Prabhu means Raja or a mighty person or a rich person, basically of a particular village. Okay. So Swagrame, he will be respected only in his own village or in his own town. Okay, swagrame only. Swasya gramaha, swagramaha, swagrame. Next, similarly, a Raja is the king of a country. Okay, Raja is a king of a country. Swadeshe pujyate. He will be only worshipped by all other people. Okay, by people in his own country. And next, but what about the Vidwan, a learned person? Vidwan sarvatra pujyate. He is being worshipped at every place or everywhere. Okay, so what it means again, the jnanam, the knowledge is something that is very important, and because of knowledge you can command respect at every place or at any place that you go. So that is the meaning of this Subhashita. Dhanyawada for participation. I shall mute you all now. Okay, hope this is understood. So Swagrame Pujyate Prabhu, only say for example you can think it as village panchayat or something. He is a person in the panchayat, so he'll be respected only in that particular grama. But if he goes to a different village, then obviously there will be one more person equivalent to him, and people will respect the leader of that village and not the leader from the other village. So this is showing where our respect, or what is the boundary of our respect, where we can get the respect, etc. Okay, so again, if you see a trend which is common across all these Subhashitas that we have learned so far, is the knowledge is supreme. That is the underlying message that most of the Subhashitas try to convey. Not just knowledge and good conduct and good kindness, all these things. These are, again, which, as I said, these are the Atma Gunas, which are very essential to make a person shine. Okay, we shall proceed further. 3 more Subhashitas are there. We shall probably complete in today's class itself. Okay, next one, Satyajit Hota Mahodaya. Can you please recite the Subhashitam?
Namo Namaha. Adhama dhanamichanti dhano mano tumadhyamaha uttama manamichanti manohi bhatang dhanam.
Okay, dhanamichanti, you said dhanamichanti and dhanamano. So a bit of corrections there. So otherwise, it was well recited. Leena Bhagini and Yayur Panchal. So can you please be ready? I shall ask a few questions and then we shall understand now. Okay, can you identify the Kriya Padam, the verbs in this sentence or in this Subhashitam?
Ichhati.
Ichanti.
Ichanti. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Next. Similarly, here also it is Ichanti. So these are the 2 Kriya Padams which are there. Can you also identify now the Purusha and Vachana?
Prathama Purusha Bahuvachan.
Very good. Prathama Purusha. And it is in Parasmaipadi. Ichhati, Ichhataha, Ichanti. Okay. Right. So Ichanti. So what? Kim Ichanti. Now, if I ask a question, what will they like? Ichanti.
Dhanam Ichanti.
Yes. Dhanam Ichanti. Okay. This is Dvitiya Bhaktihi Ekavachanam. Okay. What do they like? This is the object now. Dhanam has become the object. Dhanam Ichanti. Okay. Now, who? If you ask a question, Ke Dhanam. Adhama. Okay. Adhama. Bahuvachana Shabda. So since because of a Visarga Sandhi, it becomes Adhama Dhanam Ichanti. But while we write the answer, Adhamaha Dhanam Ichanti. That is how we split this. Okay. So let us see that Ichhati means likes or desires. Okay. And then Adhamaha means inferior people. Okay. People with probably you can say probably lesser integrity, etc. So they like or they desire only money. Next, we will go to the second category. So what do Madhyamaha Ichanti? Madhyamaha Kim Ichanti?
Manam.
Dhanamanam. Dhanamanam.
That is right. Dhanamanam to Madhyamaha. So you should assume the Ichanti is also applicable to this line. Okay. Okay. That's how we make the meaning. Adhamaha Dhanam Ichanti. Madhyamaha tu Dhanamano Ichanti. So they like not Dhana, but there's also the mana, which is respect.
Respect.
Okay, the average people, self-respect. Now, what do Uttamaha, what do the great people like? Uttamaha Kim Ichanti?
Manam.
Manam Ichanti.
Manam Ichanti. Right. Uttamaha manam icchanti. The best people like only the self-respect. They don't
Respect,
care about money.
self-respect.
Money comes or goes, but their self-respect should be intact. That means to say they will never do anything that is wrong. They will be always ethical. So that is what it means. So based on this observation, the Subhashitakara is telling one line of moral that is nothing but
Mano.
Manohi
Mahatan
Mahatan Dhanam. So the mana is the greatest wealth for great people. Mahatam,
Respect among all.
is of great people, of great men, or for great people. Mana is the wealth. So this is the meaning of this Subhashitam. Hope it is understood well. So dhanyawadaha for participation. Well recited and well participated.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So I hope this way of explaining and understanding is helpful, and you are all able to understand it. So note this. So here all this. So this Subhashitam portrays the sentence formation correctly, in the sense that what we have learnt so far. We have a Namapadam, that is nothing but the Kartrapadam. We have also a Karmapadam and a Kriyapadam. So what is that? Adhamaha Kartrapadam, Dhanam will become Karmapadam, Icchanti Kriyapadam. Same way, Madhyamaha Dhanamano Icchanti, then Uttamaha Manam Icchanti. Manohi Mahatam Dhanam. So that mana or the self-respect is the greatest wealth for great people. Okay, let us go to the next Subhashitam. Amita Bhargava, Venkata Krishna Mahodaya, and then Bhuvaneshwari Bhagini. So Amita Bhargava, can you recite the Subhashitam?
उद्यमेन हि सिद्ध्यन्ति कार्याणि न मनोरथैः न हि सुप्तस्य सिंहस्य प्रविशन्ति मुखे मृगाः.
Okay, yeah. Now let us identify. Yes, identify the Kriya Padani in this.
Siddhyanti.
Very good. Anything else?
Pravishanti.
Very good. Pravishanti and Siddhyanti are the Kriya Padas. Identify the Purusha and Vachana.
Bahuvachan. Prathama Purusha Bahuvachan.
Very good. Same way is also for Pravishanti. Okay. Okay. Now, Kim na Siddhyanti? I ask a question. Now, focus on this first two padas, okay, or the first half of the shloka. Kim na Siddhyanti is the question. Can you identify Kim na Siddhyanti from this? Identify the word that is in Prathama Vibhakti. Kim na Siddhyanti is the question. Can you identify which word is in Prathama Vibhakti and can you answer it?
Karyani na Siddhyanti.
Yes, Karyani is Prathama Vibhakti Bahuvachanam. Okay. Kim, because I don't know what it is. Kim na Siddhyanti or Kani na Siddhyanti also I can ask the question. What will not be successful or what will not be achieved is the question. So Kim na Siddhyanti, Kani na Siddhyanti, Karyani na Siddhyanti. Very good. Katham, I'm asking a question. How? Katham Karyani na Siddhyanti? Manorathaihi na Siddhyanti. Manorathaihi Karyani na Siddhyanti. Okay. Now I ask one more question. Karyani Katham Siddhyanti? Yes. Katham, how, if you ask a question, or by what, with what, etc. All these will require a word in Tritiya Vibhakti as an answer. So the words that are in Tritiya Vibhakti in this sentence are Udyamena is in Ekavachanam and then Manorathaihi is in Bahuvachanam. Okay. So Karyani Udyamena hi Siddhyanti. He means it's a avyaya, which means only, or you can think that as it's a something that is giving more weightage to it. Udyamena hi Siddhyanti. Only because of Udyama, only because of actions, the Karyani, the tasks can be accomplished. Okay, and not because of just thinking, not just because of Manorathaihi. I like to do, but if I don't do, then obviously the task will not be completed. Okay. Now let us see. Udyamaha means effort or hard work or action. You can think it as that way. And next, Siddhyati means is achieved, is accomplished. Karyam means work. Manoratha means desire. So the tasks or the work is achieved only by effort or hard work and not by just a desire. Okay. For that, this is the statement that the Subhashitakara has given the moral, and now he is giving an example of this. What is that example? Simhaha. Simhaha means a lion is the king of the jungle. Vanasya Raja. Okay, he is the king of the jungle. Does that mean if he just sits or if he just sleeps, will the prey automatically come into its mouth? That is the question he is asking by giving a beautiful example. Nahi suktasya simhasya pravishanti mukhe mrigaha. So mrigaha, can you identify the vachana and vibhakti for all these words?
Mrigaha is bahuvachana.
Bahuvachanam, very good.
Prathama vibhakti.
Yeah. Shashti vibhakti hi ekavachanam, very good. Simhasya?
Simhasya shashti vibhakti.
Yes, Shashti vibhakti hi ekavachanam, very good. Okay, so Suktasya Simhasya Shashti vibhakti hi ekavachanam. Suktasya Simhasya mukhe ke na pravishanti. I am asking a question. Suktasya Simhasya mukhe ke na pravishanti. Mrigaha na pravishanti. The mrigaha, the other animals, don't enter into the mukha. Mukha means mouth. Mukhe is Saptami Bhakti, into the mouth of a lion which is sleeping. That is the meaning of the last two padas. Suptaha Simha means sleeping lion, and Mukham means mouth. Mrigaha means deer or its prey. Pravishati means enters. Pravishanti is Bahuvachana of that. So the deers or the preys don't enter the mouth of a sleeping lion, and hence it is Shashti Vibhakti. Hope you are able to understand this. Dhanyavadaha, well participated. Okay, so I think we are close to time, but the only one Subhashitam which is left. So I will like to complete this today, so that you will be able to try to do the exercises and practice this, so that we can discuss it in the next class. Okay, the last Subhashitam for the day. So I shall directly explain this. We shall see the meaning. Vrittantu sarvatha rakshet vittamayati yati cha nakshino vittatah kshino vrittatastu hato hataha. So to identify in the same way, the kriya padani are rakshet. Okay, so rakshet is again similar to lalayet, tadayet, etc. in the other Subhashitam that we learned. So that means to say has to be protected. Okay, vrittam to sarvatha, by all means. Sarvatha means by all means. If you remember now, sarvatra we saw a word that means to say everywhere or at all places. Then sarvatha means by all means. Similarly, sarvada, there is one more word which is also an avyaya. Sarvada means at all times. Okay, at all places, at all times, etc. These are from the word sarva, which means everything or all. By adding one more suffix to it, which we call basically a dhita, etc., which you will learn in future courses. Based on that, the meaning also changes, the overall meaning of that. Okay. Next, vittam, ayati, yati cha. Yati and ayati, opposites, you can know. Gacchati, agacchati, the same way. Kshinaha, vittataha kshinaha, vrittataha tu, hataha hataha. So now let us try to see the meaning of this. Vrittam means good conduct. Sheelam, you can also think in that way. Vrittam, sarvatha, by all means. One has to protect his conduct or good conduct by all means. Rakshet, one must protect. Okay. Vittam, vittam means dhanam. Ayati comes and goes. Yati cha, the money can come and go. Nakshinaha vittataha kshinaha means if a person has lost some money, or weakened with respect to wealth, then he is really not a weakened person. Nakshinaha. Vittataha kshinaha means a person, if he has lost money, he has not lost anything as such. He is still the same person. But vrittatastu, but with respect to good conduct or with respect to his character, hataha, he will, if the character is lost, if the character is destroyed, even he is equivalent to being killed, or he is also dead. or he is also destroyed. So to recall the quote in English, if wealth is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost. And if character is lost, everything is lost. So that is the gist of this particular Subhashitam. I hope you have understood this. So Vrittam tu sarvatha rakshit. So hence we will all have to safeguard or protect our character and conduct always. So that is the most important thing. So now you can know how these Subhashitani are there, which are giving so much of good and moral knowledge that we should follow and implement in our lives. So these are the meanings of the Subhashitam. Now I shall quickly show the document that I will be uploading also to the course page. That is the notes for this lesson number 5, that is for Subhashitani. As I said, the Anvaya is in the order where the Kriya Padam is put at the end, so that we can write the Padapadartha, etc. So Vidya Samaha Bandhu Nasti. In this way, we'll have to make notes. Okay. So please refer to this notes as well as the slides. Okay, once it is uploaded, and I want you all to write down the notes for the Subhashitani chapter correctly. So write the Subhashitam, below that you write the Anvaya, then below that you write the Padapadartha of some of the words that have been shown in the slides, and then write the meaning, which is the Bhavartha. Okay, so this document I shall be uploading onto the course page today after this class. So you should be able to practice it and refer to it. And next, one more thing, I shall also be uploading this document, which is the exercises for Subhashitani, Abhyasaha for Subhashitani, in the course page. I shall show the course page just in a minute, and please try to practice and complete this. It will be helpful. Okay, so try doing this. We shall also discuss this in the upcoming class. Now I shall quickly show the course page once, and show where all this information is available. Okay, so if you come to the course page, Surasar Sabha Prathama course page, so whatever new announcements or anything are there, I shall be putting it on the top right corner, top right section. Here you can see for the Q&A section I had put in this way. In the same way, all the details with respect to the assessment also I'll be putting in this corner only. Okay, in this way. And if you come down, if you see in the exam corner, you can see all the notes, exercises, etc. being uploaded here. For Sankhya also, the notes is uploaded, and also the audio for practice. Similarly, for today's class, I will put here lesson 5, where Subhashitani, notes and exercises. So there will be 2 documents. One is the notes and one more is the exercise. Please click on that exercise questions similar to this, how you can see here. Same way, you will be able to see the questions for Subhashitani as well. So try to practice Subhashitani and complete the exercises by next class. Okay, we shall discuss it, however. So this is with respect to the course page. And also one more important thing is at the end, the Q&A session of last Saturday is also uploaded. Please refer to it, and most of the doubts you may have will be clarified in that. Okay, let me come back. Yes, so that's it for today's class. So we shall take a break at this point. I will just open the Q&A for a few minutes, and if you have questions, you can stay back and ask the questions. Others can probably leave the meeting because it's already time. So dhanyavadaha sarvebhyaha, ram ram ram. As I always say, if there are any questions, please reach out to me through the email. Otherwise, you can ask a few questions now. So we shall take the question answers now. So I'm lowering everyone's hands right now. So those who have questions, only those of you, please raise your hands. N. Bhagyashri.
Ram, sir.
Ram.
Sir, I don't have doubt. I have doubt in exams, sir.
Don't worry about the exam. If it is related to the upcoming weekend internal assessment, don't worry, because more details I shall be providing it on Friday. Okay. If you have any questions related to the course content or the class that we have learned today, I'll be happy to answer them. If it is related to question, exam or anything like that, you can also write an email to me.
Sir, but can you please share the sources with the Sabha's numbers, sir?
It is already shared. It is there also on the course page. You can refer to where you can buy the textbook or exam, etc. It is available there. Also in the slides, you will be it will be available. You can refer to the previous class slides. Okay, it is there on the course page. There, the third slide will have the details of the Surasar Sabha.
Okay, sir.
Sure. Dhanyawadaha. Okay. Next, Charu.
Ram, sir, these Subhashitani and their meaning question, will they also be there in the intermediate assessment?
No, in the intermediate assessment, not whatever we have done till that is the only.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So I request you to please ask questions if you have any doubts with respect to the content that we have learned today. Okay. So Ramesh Reddy.
Namaskar, sir.
Namaste.
This now. So Prapte.
Right.
Up to age 10 means beat. Okay. Between 10 and 16, what should we do?
No. Not up to age 10. So first is the Panchavarshani Lalayet. Okay. First 5 years you need to be affectionate. Next 10 years. Okay. Dashavarshani Tadet. After 5 years, next 10 years. That's what.
Oh, next 10 years. Okay.
Yes. So then once 16th year is reached, Prapte means reaching. Okay. Praptihi means getting, obtaining, etc. Prapte to Shodashe Varshe. So that means to say once the kid reaches 16 years, then on. After that, what you should do? Mitravad Acharit. You should treat him as a friend.
Okay, Dhanyawad. One more question. In Vibhaktis, you added one more column with Kim. Then so in some of the Vibhaktis, from where, what, so that different questions will come.
Right. Okay, I should open that slide. So if you can refer to it and ask the question. Yeah.
Yeah, here. So here you said questioning word Kim.
Right.
What, which, who.
Right.
Then,
no, this is the meaning. This is the meaning for.
From is Kutaha, like that. So that questions will vary for each of this.
I will tell it again. So when we use Kim Shabda in Pullinga, Strilinga or Napumsakalinga forms, right? So we have various vibhaktis. Kaha kauke, kam kaukan, kena kaphyam kaihi, etc. So what do each vibhakti means, or like what question word it refers to? That is what I have put here. From where basically you can also ask kasmat. Okay. And another way is kutaha. Kutaha is a separate word which is outside this. Kutaha is another word, but kasmat also you can ask. Kasmat agachati. From where does he come? You can ask still there, that one, or kutaha agachati also you can ask. So this is with respect to vibhakti forms in Kim Shabda. Hope that is.
Here my request is you can put Sanskrit words also for apart from this English.
Yeah. So this is general meaning of for that question. So in the same way as this table I have constructed, you can try it out. You can write kaha kauke, kam kaukan, etc. and then ask which Rama, who, etc. like that. Who in bracket 2 referring to 2 numbers or 2 people and something like that. You can build a table. So
okay. For each questioning word, okay, we can build a table.
Yes. That's how it is. Okay, sure. Dhanyawad.
Okay, Dhanyawad.
Okay. Next one, Pratima Arora.
Hari Om, sir. Similar to the question before, the Kidrishasya Simhasya Mukhasya Mrugaha na Pravishanti. Is that a correct question, or Kidrisha is good enough to ask that question?
Kidrishasya Simhasya. That is right. Kidrishasya you can use. You can make use of. So of what kind? Okay. So Suptasya Simhasya. Supta becomes the adjective for that Simha. That's right.
So anytime you're asking a question, we can convert Kidrisha to that vibhakti, or it is compulsory or it is optional?
No, it is compulsory. So because
always
see, you're actually asking Kidrishasya Simhasya. The Kidrisha will actually become kind of an adjective to Simha. So if it were not, so Suptam Simham, suppose I am using a different vibhakti. Suktam simham saha pashyati. Say balakaha suktam simham pashyati. The balaka is seeing. Balaka sees a lion which is sleeping. Okay. Now in that case, balakaha kidrisham simham pashyati will be the correct question. Okay. Similarly, you can say another one. What you can say is okay. Balakaha suptaya simhaya phalam dadati. So no, phalam it will not eat anyway. But I'm just make that sentence. So kimapi dadati. Okay. So then kidrishaya simhaya. That's how the vibhakti also will change.
Okay. Thank
That's
you,
how.
sir.
Sure. Dhanyawadaha. Good question. Anyway, next Rajmani Ashok.
Namaskaram.
Namaste.
I have a doubt in the chapter 4. In one, it is written Tebhyaha Balakebhyaha Kani Ambari Ambarani Kani.
Right.
Balakebhyaha, why are you using it that? Because it's the first time I'm coming across that.
No, Balakebhyaha is nothing but Ramebhyaha. Similar to that. Balakaha, Balako, Balakaha. Ramebhyaha is nothing but Chaturthi Vibhaktihi Bahuvachanam. Similarly, Balakebhyaha is Chaturthi Vibhakti Bahuvachanam. For all the boys, for the boys. That is the meaning of that.
Okay.
Tebhyaha Balakebhyaha. Tebhyaha is also Chaturthi Vibhakti Bahuvachanam. For those boys. Okay. Tebhyaha Balakebhyaha Kani Ambarani Priyani. What kind of clothes are liked by those? Okay. That is the question. So, okay.
Thank you.
Sure. Dhanyawadaha. Next, yeah, if your question is answered, please lower your hand so that I can know whose question is answered and not. Sandhya Bhagini.
हरि ओम महोदय
Namaste.
एतस्मिन् सुभाषिते मानधन इति अस्ति खलु धनमानमिच्छन्ति
Dhanamano Ichanti.
धनमानौ इच्छन्ति धनमानौ इत्युक्ते किम् अहं न ज्ञातवती महोदय
Similar to Ramesha Gopalo. If you remember in Kau Nindataha was a question. Ramesha Gopalo Nindataha. When we are referring to two, it's actually a compound word. Dhanamano means dhanam cha manam cha. Both the wealth as well as the respect. Okay, dhanam and manam. These two.
मध्यमाः धनम् अपि इच्छन्ति मानम् अपि इच्छन्ति इति.
That is right. That is right. So that is the meaning of that line. Dhanam api manam api dhanamano icchanti. So when you combine these two together, the compound word which is called a dvandva samasa. Okay, don't worry about the technical term again. The samasa, it will be in vivachana, and since manaha is pulling a shabda, dhanamana, when you combine it becomes dhanamano.
धन्यवादः महोदय.
Sure. Dhanyawadaha. Okay, next Ganesha Mahodaya. I shall probably take a few more questions and then conclude.
Ram Mahodaya.
Ram.
Mahodaya, Subhashita, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Asti is a hydran verb is there. Hydran asti. Navoso Bhushan Chandra asti. Narina Bhushan Pati asti.
Yes, that is right. So Bhushanam asti is something which we can assume. That is the adhyahara we say it as. So it is assumed that it is basically that is the word which we'll add. Or bhavati also you can use. Bhushanam bhavati. Okay. Bhavati or asti is the same meaning. Yes.
And sir, the meaning of two, adama mana dhanam icchanti, dhanamano tu madhyama. The meaning of two.
So two basically, in general, it will not have any meaning. These are used to ensure that the chandas of the shloka is complete. But some places it enhances the meaning by. See, when you say adhamaha manam icchanti, dhanamano tu madhyamaha. But you can think that two as but. Okay. So param is the actual word in case when you want to use it as but here too you can assume that it is used for that. But the average people like these two. So,
okay, Dhanyawada Mahodaya.
Dhanyawada. Okay, next Chakradhar Mahodaya. And next is Arun Mahodaya.
Yeah, Ram, sir.
Ram.
Tapaha is which?
Tapaha is Napumsakalinga Shabda. It is Sakarantaha, Tapas Shabda basically. So Tapaha is Napumsakalinga Shabda, which we haven't learned. So I did not discuss more about that Shabda.
In the Subhashita, it will come in which vibhakti?
It is Prathama Vibhakti only. So what is that? Satyam tapaha, right? Nasti satya samam tapaha. Yes, it is in Prathama Vibhakti only.
Okay. Dhanyavad.
Okay, dhanyawad. Okay, Arun Mahoday, you can ask your question.
Namo Namaha Mahodaya.
Namaste.
In Mano hi Mahatam Dhanam, Mahatam 6.1, sir.
Yes.
Mahatam.
It is not 6.1, it is 6.3. Okay. So that again, that Shabda also we haven't learned, which is similar to Ramanam, similar to that. It is Shashti Vibhakti Bahuvachanam. Mano hi Mahatam Dhanam. 1 second, let me open that so that it is clear. Okay. I think I marked it as 6.1 only, I remember, but let me see. 6. Okay, yeah, I haven't put it. It is 6.3. Basically, it is Shashti Vibhakti hi Bahuvachanam.
It's a Pratipadika, sir.
Mahat is the Pratipadika. Mahan, Mahanto, Mahantaha. That's how the forms will be. Similar to any other Bhavan, Bhavanto, Bhavantaha. Bhavatam, you might have heard. Bhavataha Namakim, Bhavatam Namakim, etc. So Mahatam is similar to that Shabda.
Thank you.
Okay. Dhanyawadaha. Yeah, I missed to tell that information. Okay. So next one. So if your questions are answered, please lower your hands. So Panishri. Next is Raja Raman Mahodaya.
Ram Mahodaya.
Ram.
Subhashite. In the textbook also it is given Siddhyanti, but it is the ya kila Mahodaya.
Both ways you can write. Both are correct. But actual dhatu, if you see, it is siddh dhatu only. So siddhyati, siddhyanti, both are correct. So there it is a dvitva is there. Okay. Karyanina manorathaihi here, right? In this Subhashitam, if you see, this ways of writing is also correct, and also this is also correct. Okay, both are right. So this is a dvitva that occurs. So based on grammar rule, this is correct. The dvitva is also right.
Dhanyawada.
Sure. Dhanyawadaha. Okay. Next is Raja Raman.
Ram. Yes. This Triloka you said. Now what are the Triloka? Can you tell me?
So that is the Bhuloka and Swarloka and okay, or Patala you can take. These are the 3 lokas you can take as the general thing. But there are some which are there also. Bhu, Bhuva, Suvaha. Then all these are the lokas are there above us, and then below also it is like Atala, Sutala, Tala, Patala, etc. So those are the other 14 lokas if you see. Totally there are 14. Yeah. Okay, but in this 3 loka, if you say all the lokas above us, below us, and in this loka, that is what it refers to.
Means above means Bhuloka and Swargaloka upwards and downwards, Patal Loka.
Correct. That's right. That is the 3 loka. Yes. Dhanyawadaha. Okay. Venkatesh Mahodaya, you can ask your question.
Namo Mahodaya. This may be a silly question. Who are the authors of these Subhashitanis?
So this is a compilation of the Subhashitas. So exactly, I don't have the reference from where it has picked up. Like all the Subhashitas, most of them I would say it would be from Bhartrahari. Bhartrahari Niti Shatakam is there. So Niti Shatakam, Vairagya Shatakam, and Shringara Shatakam. He has written 300 Subhashitam in these names. Actually, Bhartrahari has written. Similarly, there are many other authors, and it is part of either Panchatantra or Hitopadesha, or also some from Mahabharatam or Ramayanam, etc. So the sources for these Subhashitam can be many. So I don't have an attribute of like which Subhashitam is picked up from which place at this as of now.
The next, why I asked this question is Udyamena hi Siddhyanti. The best example would be if we desire marks, we cannot get it. We have to work for it.
Right. That is true.
That would be a better example, I thought.
No, yeah, that is true. But because this is something, marks is, or this one, if you see, with respect to writing an exam or something, it's a specific thing. But this one, if you don't do work, you will not be able to eat. That is what you are actually saying. That is the first thing. Okay. So yes, of course, it is a cyclic process. Once you score more, once you read well, then you will get a good job, then you will be able to earn, etc. All these things are fine. But just to see, take an example from the Prakriti. So that is more important. If you see any of these Subhashitams, right? Most of the things are usually any example that they give in any of these Subhashitams will be something which is natural phenomena, which everyone will be aware of. So
yeah,
that's how it is being given. Yeah, but of course, unless
Dhanyawad. Thanks for your time.
Yes, sure. Dhanyawad. Okay. So I think, see, though it is time, but what I will do is, if you are available and if you want to continue with the Q&A, if you have some more questions, I shall extend my time and answer some of your questions. So it is fine with me. So at least I will try to go on for a few more minutes, and then we shall conclude today's class. So Murali Iyer.
Thank you. Thank you. I had some previous exercise. Sorry, I am asking about a previous exercise.
Okay.
Where you have to frame a question on the sentence called Mahyam Karpasani Vastrani Priyani.
Right.
So I was practicing. I answered it as Tubhyam Kidrishani Vastrani Priyani. Is that okay?
Right. Yes, that is also fine. Kidrishani Vastrani Priyani, Kani Vastrani Priyani. Both are correct.
Okay, this prayoga you said, I missed that prayoga. Prapte tu Shodashe Varshe. Some prayoga name is there.
Yeah, it is called as Sati Saptami.
Sati Saptami. Okay.
Yes, Sati Saptami. Saptami is nothing but Saptami Bhakti. Many words interconnected in Saptami Bhakti are used to refer to a particular time frame or to a particular time. So that is Sati Saptami. Instead of saying like when, so it is nothing but like when he reaches this age or something like that. So at that point in time, or that kind of prayoga is called Sati Saptami.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. Sure. Dhanyawadaha. Ramji. Next in line, Chandrarekha.
Namaste, Mahodaya.
Next is Shanta Bhagini. Yes, Mahodaya, you can ask a question.
What about the meaning for the slokas, please?
Yes, shlokas also I shall show it. So we'll be doing it in the upcoming classes.
So that when we recite slokas, we will know the meaning.
Definitely. I have a document also prepared for it. So I thought if I finish this Subhashitani today early, I thought of just going through them. But anyway, I shall do it in the next upcoming classes.
Thank you, Mahodaya.
Sure. Dhanyawadaha. So with respect to the exam, of course, shloka meaning is not needed, but for our understanding and learning, I shall introduce to you. Okay, Chandrarekha Bhagini, you can ask your question.
Yes, sir. Namaskara. One thing, cha was missing in the third Subhashitani last line. Dukhani cha, Sukhani cha. But that was not important. My question is on the sixth Subhashitani, where you said Pradoshe and Prabhate have to be translated as morning and night. I feel it should be dusk and dawn.
Yeah, that is fine. Yes, that is true. But in general meaning, if you see, it is Pradoshaha is okay during the night time is what I translate as general one. But yeah, it is dusk and dawn is fine. I mean the exact words.
Because that is the time when you cannot see completely, no, and that time the moon gives light and the sun gives light because it's neither dark nor is it fully lighted.
Right. Yes, understood. Yes, that's fine.
And second Subhashitani, the last word was missing. Dukhani, Sukhani, cha, Dukhani, cha.
Okay, I shall check that and fix it.
No, am I right or wrong?
1 second. Let me cross check.
Because I had memorized all this, so I felt that cha is not there.
Okay, sure. I shall check that.
Because if it is only cha, then it should come at the end, no?
No. 1 second. This is the second one, right?
This is third one.
Yes, that is right. Cha is there in the end.
Because if you use only one cha, it should be following the second word, no?
No. Dukhani cha, Sukhani cha. Cha is there. That is missed in this.
No, but there is a rule in Sanskrit, no, that if you are using two chas, then after both the words, or one cha after the second word.
No, nothing like that. There's no rule. So Dukhani cha, Sukhani is also fine. Dukhani cha, Sukhani cha is also fine. Okay. Dukhani, Sukhani cha is the most used form. That is right. Yeah, this cha is missing here. I shall include it in this slide. Sure. Dhanyawad.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay, next Shanta Bhagini, you can ask your question. Next in the line, I will take 2 more questions and then I will conclude today's class. So So maybe sorry for those who did not get the chance, but I'm unable to help. So okay, yes, Shanta Bhagini, you can ask. I'm unable to hear you, Shanta Bhagini.
Hari Om Mahodaya.
Namaste.
What is another word for Chandra in Sanskrit?
There are many words, not just one word. If you refer to Amara Kosha or dictionary, you will get it. So Himam Shuhu is one another word you can think.
Okay.
Himam Shuhu, Shashankaha.
Okay.
So these are some of the words you can refer. Which are the meanings for Chandra.
And what is the opposite of Murkhaha?
Murkha means fool or an unintelligent person. You can think is an intelligent person. You can say Pragnyaha, Vidwan or something like that.
Okay. Dhanyawada Mahodaya.
Dhanyawada. Okay, Usha Bhagini and next Garima Bhagini. So these two questions I shall take and conclude today's class.
Ram Mahodaya.
Ram.
Some of the Vibhakti tables have two forms. The Rupa Dvayam Asti, like Mama Me, Mahyam Me. So in the exam, when you are asked to decline the word Sarvanama Padam or anything, any other form, are you supposed to write both or one is good enough?
Both should be written.
Both should be written. Mahyam Me, Mama Me, like that. Okay.
Similarly, for Eta Shabda also there are two forms.
Yes. Some of the forms have in some of the Vibhaktis two forms. So that's what my doubt, whether we should write both or one is good enough. So both have to be both. Dhanyawadaha Mahodaya.
Okay, Garima Bhagini, you can ask your question.
Ram Mahodaya.
Ram.
Subhashitam.
Can you be a bit louder?
In Subhashitam Pancha.
Right.
So what is the meaning of why in the last line?
So, okay, that's what, as you see, right? So this y or two or etc. are added to ensure that the chandas doesn't break. Okay, they actually don't have, based on the context, we will have to make a meaning for that. Sheelam Sarvatra Vaidanam. So here you can say it as but. Sheelam is the dhanam everywhere. So even for two or but also, it can mean also but any of these connecting words. This is just, you can think that it is enhancing that particular meaning of it. That's it.
Astu Mahodaya.
So there's no specific meaning which I can say. Okay. Dhanyawadaha. Okay, so with that we shall conclude today's class. Dhanyawadaha sarvebhyaha. Ram. If there are any other questions, please write an email to me. With that we shall conclude today's class.